Welcome back to the Britannia Coin Company. We're a coin dealer based in Royal Wootton Bassett in the UK. Today we're continuing with our World War Wednesday series where we've been looking at one of these multi-year sets. In today's video we'll be looking at the 2017 release commemorating individuals and themes of 1917 in the First World War, and then next week we'll be rounding off this series with 2018's release. Once again, the set contains 6 silver £5 coins with a limited run of 1,917 for this collection. We start with this coin. It commemorates Noel Chavasse and is designed by David Cornell, an artist that we've seen behind the designs of other notable individuals in this collection. It features his portrait and below him tending to a wounded soldier. Again, this year's series of coins have edge inscriptions, and on this coin reads as "Duty called and called me to obey," which was his own words dictated to a letter to his fiancée once he was fatally injured. He was born in Oxford in 1884 and graduated from Trinity College, Oxford, with first-class honours in 1907. A keen sportsman, the following year he represented Great Britain in the 400 metres at the 1908 Olympic Games. He went on to become a doctor and surgeon in Liverpool before joining the Royal Army Medical Corps by 1913. He was awarded the Victoria Cross in 1916 for his brave and valiant efforts, saving at least 20 men under heavy and consistent gunfire. The following year, during the Third Battle of Ypres, commonly referred to as Passchendaele, he was fatally wounded by shell fire but refused to leave his post tending to the wounded and even going out under heavy fire to search and attend to the wounded. He passed away from his injuries, but for his valour was awarded the bar to his Victoria Cross, the only individual to achieve this most highest honour throughout the entire war, and remains one of only 3 people to have achieved this. His military headstone has the honour of depicting 2 Victoria Crosses, and he is personally named on at least 16 war memorials, more than any other individual. Our next coin here celebrates the medical services. The design by David Rowlands features a medical station and soldiers carrying a stretcher with smoke rising from the background representing the ongoing conflict. The edge inscription on this coin translates as "faithful in adversity," which is taken from the badge of the Royal Army Medical Corps. Needing to keep soldiers fighting fit, there are a number of revolutionary developments in medicine, including the introduction of blood banks ready for transfusions, plastic surgery to reconstruct the faces of disfigured soldiers, and Hugh Owen's Thomas Splint, used to treat broken legs and arms. The medical services predate the war naturally, but expanded rapidly in this time of conflict, from about 2,500 people in 1914 to over 10,000 by 1919. Medical work and nursing were one of the most direct ways that women were able to get involved and contribute towards the war effort, and thousands of women volunteered to assist. Art and war are the subject of our next coin, and it's a design by David Lawrence. The design shows a line of soldiers who are walking towards a dressing station in the aftermath of a mustard gas attack. Below you can see the hands of an artist drawing the scene. David Lawrence has imagined the early creation of a famous World War I painting entitled "Gassed" by John Singer's Sergeant, which was completed in 1919 and is now displayed in the Imperial War Museum. The edge inscription on this coin is "War as it is," a quote from the first official war artist. During the First World War, the British government developed art schemes to record and document all aspects of the conflict. Initially, traditional works of art were created for illustrations and propaganda, but they were felt to be unconvincing or showing unrealistic hand-to-hand combat or cavalry charges. With the growing demand for the truth, more contemporary art was commissioned. Works such as "Over the Top" by David Nash, showing soldiers climbing out of a snow-topped trench and onwards to the enemy with fallen soldiers remaining in the trench, or "The Doctor" by C.R.W. Neverson, whose eerie and stark work depicts a doctor tending to a patient outside Dunkirk. At the end of the First World War, these varied works of art were combined at the Imperial War Museum. Artists would also assist in the war effort, with the likes of Solomon J. Solomon, a founding member of the New England Art Club and member of the Royal Academy, advising and assisting the British Army on camouflage. British marine painter Norman Wilkinson created the idea of dazzle painting during the First World War to assist the Royal Navy by painting complex geometric shapes over a ship, making it hard to discern the size, class, or even the direction the ship was moving in. In fact, in 2021, the Royal Navy painted the HMS Tamar in dazzle camouflage, making it the first to feature this camouflage since the Second World War. Next up we have this exciting design featuring the Sopwith Camel fighter plane. It is designed by Edwina Ellis, showing the Sopwith Camel in flight. The edge inscription translates as "The Hornet attacks when roused," which is the motto on the badge of the 213th Squadron of the Royal Navy Air Service. The aircraft saw service from 1917 and became one of the most well-known fighter aircraft in the conflict. It was the first fighter plane to have been designed with two front-facing machine guns. These guns had to be synchronized to shoot through the propeller disc. It gained its name Camel due to the hump-shaped protective covers over its machine guns. The plane gained a reputation as being difficult to handle, with light and sensitive controls, offering tightened maneuverability. Due to the engine's placement, the craft was slower to turn left than right, with some pilots preferring to turn 270 degrees to the right rather than 90 degrees to the left. This plane would see service up until 1920 before it was withdrawn. Throughout the First World War, no other plane would see the success of this one, with its pilots credited with taking down 1,294 enemy aircraft. This striking design is our penultimate coin, featuring a design to remember the horrors of the use of gas in the First World War. Designed again by Edwina Ellis, it features a gas mask, which an ex-soldier in First World War apparel posed for a photograph to help the artist. The pattern of dots overlaid represent the particles of poisonous gas enveloping the mask itself, and the edge inscription reads "Guttering, choking, drowning," an excerpt from the war poem Dulce et decorum est by Wilfred Owen. In 1899, the Hague Convention banned the use of asphyxiating gases, but in 1915 and 1916, German and French forces used non-lethal tear gases. Generally ineffective in their uses, it wouldn't be until 1915 the German army employed the use of poison gas for the first time at Ypres, with substantial quantities of chlorine gas discharged on unprepared French colonial troops who suffered substantial casualties. As the war raged on, more and more toxic gases were created, including phosgene, which would be mixed at times with chlorine. The most feared of all mustard gas came into use in 1917, which when pure was a clear fine mist, but in times of war used in impure forms would be a yellowy brown. It caused the blistering of skin and lungs if inhaled, and would cause harrowing illnesses and eventual death. Although gas warfare accounted for only 3% of battlefield fatalities, many would go on to suffer long-term illnesses and premature deaths at the end of the war. Its use also had a terrible psychological impact on the troops serving on the front lines. Our final coin in this set commemorates the Battle of Arras. The design by John Bergdahl features two howitzers on the ground, manned by two soldiers, and two planes flying above, making use of perspective to show the large flat land on which this battle took place. The edge inscription reads, "The monstrous anger of the guns," from Wilfred Owen's poem Anthem for Doomed Youth. Having learned a huge amount from the Battle of the Somme, it was decided to employ these redefined tactics to attempt to break through the Hindenburg Line, which was the defensive position built by German forces. On the 9th of April 1917, British troops attacked with the cover of advancing artillery, managing to achieve the longest advance since trench warfare had begun. Supported by the largest concentration of firepower since the Somme, with over 2,800 guns and 70 tanks, the offensive began very successfully. After 2 days of remarkable movement, compared to other similar situations across the war, logistics of moving up support across what was previously a ruined no man's land became troublesome. With the loss of tanks and lives, the British forces were unable to break the Hindenburg Line, and the offensive returned to a stalemate. Generally seen as a British victory though, and with 25 Victoria Crosses awarded to the Allied forces, the loss of life was estimated to be around 158,000 British and 130,000 German soldiers. With the offensive fighting on until the 16th of May 1917, it again highlights the industrial scale of the loss of life through this terrible conflict. Well, there we go, that's another set of amazing coins that we've had a look at. Do let me know down in the comments which is your favourite coin. Personally, I lean towards the gas design. It just really jumps out and stands out in this set, although the art and war design as well is a really clever one that takes a close second. There's links down in the description to our website and our product offering if you'd like to take a closer look at any of these coins or related products or make a purchase for yourself. Be sure to subscribe to our channel as well. It's free to do and means you won't miss any of our future uploads. We've just surpassed 3,000 subscribers, which we are amazed with. So thank you very much to all of you that have subscribed. And as we said, once we get to 4,000 subscribers, we'll be doing another giveaway. So it's a great time to subscribe. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, where we post lots of images of our products. We're on Twitter and TikTok. We've got a shop and online store. But I'll see you next time for more amazing coins from the Britannia Coin Company.